Please sit still until the class is over. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, I'll ask you what came to me today in meditation was staying open, like consistently versus opening and closing, staying open to the receiving of nutrients, like consistently. So I'll just ask you to talk about that, please.
Well, look, Wendy, that's the essence of this meditation. I mean, nobody's perfect. Everybody has blocks, tensions inside them. And the purpose of the meditation is to build a system that can get you closer and closer to staying open. And not to have anything in your mind thinking, well, open, closed, try to denigrate yourself because you're not open all the time. I mean, nobody's open all the time. But just the simple sitting down and doing inner work and doing it consistently, gets you closer and closer to being open. And that's what the meditation is all about, is to build that kind of inner life that enables a human being to truly live with an open heart, to live with a quiet mind, without, in case the mind gets a little noise in it, please try and sit still. It gets a little noise in it, we don't make ourselves crazy. I mean, that's all this meditation is about. Learning to accept one's limitations, learning to use one's limitations instead of a means of defeating oneself, but as an opportunity to grow. Learning to accept that we all make mistakes, but using those mistakes not as a way of defeating ourselves, but as a way of growing, a way of moving on, a way of transforming the obstacles inside us that enabled those mistakes to happen. Getting closer to a state of perfection, but always accepting the fact that the only thing in the universe that's perfect is God. And imperfection is part of perfection, I mean, imperfection is just a reminder that we really have work to do on ourselves. And that enables us to accept the fact that at times, our hearts close, this happens, we're thinking, we're just human beings, we're not perfect. But we can sit down and say, okay, I have to do the work, in order to keep my mind from drifting off into that world of conflict and thoughts and tension. So I wouldn't, get too concerned about the fact that it opens and closes, because the more you work on yourself, the deeper you go, the stronger your system is inside, the more open you're going to be. And under any circumstances, not just in meditation class. I had this last week was a very difficult week. And, the only way I could deal with it was not closing up, staying open. And if I didn't do that, I would have really gotten pissed off at a lot of things, that were taking place. So the answer is simple to that, accept your limitations and do the work so that you can grow from them. Accept the fact that there's noise in your brain, do the work that you can grow from it. Accept the fact that you occasionally get depressed, do the work so you can grow from it. Accept the fact that you're down on yourself, you have this kind of sense of your own inadequacy, and do the work so you can move on from it. Get stronger inside, develop the chakra below the navel, get the mind quiet, get the heart open. That is the work of this meditation. As I say all the time, this is not a religion that we do here. This is a craft. Meditation is a craft, not a religion. It's a craft that can help you to do the things I'm talking about, if you use it properly and intelligently. If you say, oh, I'll do it in a week. Oh, man, I'm tired. I'd rather watch a television program. It's just stupid, you know? God makes this available. Not Stuart. I'm here doing the work of God, you know? And take advantage of it. And just have the strength and the capacity inside to accept yourself on all the levels that exist inside you. And they're going to be good things and they're going to be not such good things. And use everything as an opportunity to grow and get closer to your connection with higher energy in the universe. Does anyone else have a question that would like to ask?
Stuart,
Yes?
could you say a bit more about what you mean when you use the word system, which you use fairly frequently?
Well, chakra system, I mean, it's a system of energy centers that exists inside. There are 7 basic ones in the forehead, third eye, the throat, heart, right below the navel, the sex, the base of the spine, and the top of the head. Each of these, chakras that are part of that system, it's like a digestive system, a respiratory system, there's a chakra system. Each of them is connected to higher energy in the universe. And the work of meditation is to develop that system so that we can build a connection in ourselves with energy that really nurtures us and that comes from an infinite source, spirit. So it's like, there's a chakra system, there's a digestive, a respiratory, an excretory. We have a lot of systems inside us, but in the biological textbooks, they don't talk about a chakra system, but it's basically a system inside. And once you start developing it, it becomes so clear how important this is to the stability of a human being, that one readily accepts the fact that they have to continue to work on themselves in order to keep themselves from deteriorating. Just as you got to eat healthy food to keep your digestive system working properly. And all, each system requires consciousness.
May I ask a follow-up question to that?
Yeah.
So when you talk about, for example, the digestive system, you're talking about a process, the process of admitting, dealing with, eliminating food. So there's a process. When you talk about the chakra system, are you talking about
it's also
the existence of the chakras or a process?
It's a process. The chakra system is a process of the unfolding of consciousness. Look, the chakra below the navel is the real power in a human being. It's not the mind, it's not the emotions, it's the area of balance, it's the area of foundation. It's such an important area in a human being that is completely overlooked in all education. It's part of a system. You got to have balance inside. You got to have foundation inside. You got to have that kind of inner strength and rootedness that enables you to deal with the intensity of life, the intensity of spirit, the intensity of Kundalini. You understand? The heart chakra is the seat of love. Love is, happiness, joy, highest language of God on the earth. And how can we speak that language if the heart is closed all the time? So, each chakra has a different role to play in that system. Mind, knowledge. But mostly we think knowledge is just IQ and intellect and thinking and rational, understanding of life. That is, real knowledge comes from a higher source of energy in the universe. So we have to learn to use the mind properly. When you learn to use the mind properly, the mind becomes an instrument that really opens the very core of your being, that enables you to begin to receive knowledge, wisdom from a higher source of energy. All of this is a process of opening inside and developing consciousness. Sexual area, the throat, these are all, areas that have to be developed so that we can connect to higher energy in the universe. And we have a system that enables us to do it. And the problem is that people don't do the work on themselves to strengthen that system. It's like Rudy always said, his chakras are psychic muscles. If you don't use your physical muscles, they're going to atrophy. If you don't go to the gym, work out a little bit, do yoga, whatever you do. My daughter does bar, which it's really incredible. I mean, whatever you do, you need to do something to keep the muscles working properly. And chakras are the same thing. If we don't work on them and develop them and use the mind and the breath to strengthen these areas in ourselves, they atrophy. And when they atrophy, literally the whole system of a human being falls apart. So it is a system, and it's a process of developing that system. And we all have the tools to do this. When I give somebody the exercise, I tell them all this. We all have minds, we all have breath, we all have will, we all have need. Those are the tools. Now we have to learn how to use the tools consciously to develop a system that enables us to get closer and closer to a state of perfection inside, to keeping our hearts open, keeping our minds quiet, allowing ourselves to be fed by spirit, knowledge, wisdom, to be able to see the real world beyond illusion and Maya and all this stuff that just completely, like a cosmic vacuum cleaner, sucks everybody's energy out of them. Money, all this stuff, it just sucks people's lives away. They turn these things into God instead of working to develop an inner life that enables them to connect with higher energy, God, whatever you want to call it, spirit. Does anyone else have a question? Good questions tonight.
Hey,
So
Stuart.
I would like to ask, sorry. I would like to ask a question. If I cannot attend the class for some reason, what would be the best way to work without you in Zoom, like taking maybe a candle or a photo of Rudy or a photo of you?
Well, if you can't make the class, you should do it anyway. You should have a photograph of myself, Rudy, Nityananda, any teacher that you can relate to that's sitting in a state of meditation. And you just make a little altar in your house where you have that picture, you have I have statues, I have all kinds of things and you sit down, and you should do this anyway, even if you attend these classes. You know, every class that I teach, you should still also sit down at least once a day on your own and do this meditation practice. And use the picture. You can look at the picture. You get a picture of Rudy in a state of meditation, it'll transmit plenty of Shakti to you. Same thing with Nityananda. And I suggest you do that. It's a very important thing because you also have to learn how to do this on your own. I remember the first 10 times I sat down to do this on my own, I could barely sit for 5 minutes. My mind was so active that I just couldn't. And then 5 minutes became 8 minutes, became 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Part of the training, you develop the capacity to do it. And you get to a place where you understand that the greatest imperfection in the world is having to be perfect. Because you'll always defeat yourself. Instead of saying, okay, incrementally, I can get better at something.
And just a follow-up question. Can I download a photo of Rudy from some source, like from the internet?
Yeah, I'm sure. Just put, Rudy's name in, Albert Rudy, Swami Rujananda. I'm sure pictures of him will come up, Just go to Google. You can get anything on Google. I'm sure Rudy is in Google. I mean, you put my name in Google and there's 1,000 things that come up, And if you go put Rudy's name in, it'll come up. Swami Nityananda, I'm sure pictures will come up. And then you can download it, you can print it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I suggest taking as many classes as you can because the energy here is beyond, it's really something so strong and deep and rich and pure that, you should try and make these classes unless it's impossible, something comes up. Does anyone else have a question? Somebody had a
Yes, hi Stuart, it's Paula. So 2 words that came up to me strongly in this meditation were gratitude and love. And each time they've come up, I feel my physiology change with these words. And it's not so much a question as, can you talk about that transformation that happens with the vibration of this?
The 2 words you expressed, gratitude and love, create lightness of being. They create an inner life that is really, it's something that almost is paradisical, When a person can keep their heart open and they're full of that love and gratitude unconditionally, not because you just won the lotto, or something like that, but just, I'm alive. Everything around me is a miracle. Everything around me is a manifestation of God. I am a manifestation of God. And having gratitude to that will create such lightness of being inside you. And those are major steps towards attaining spiritual enlightenment. It's just learning how to be grateful, learning gratitude, learning how to have joy and love, unconditional inside yourself. So I'm not surprised that your chemistry changes when you open that way.
Thank you, Stuart.
Welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I'd like to ask. Okay, there'll be meditation tomorrow evening. Look, I'm always open for new students, new people. These classes are growing incrementally, they're getting bigger and bigger. And I don't care. I just open to people studying, and more people that come, the more I have to grow, and that's all right. find a place for everybody in my heart, the gratitude and love for people for sharing in this, being part of this. So God bless you all. Thank you. And, hopefully I'll see everyone tomorrow evening, and have a wonderful evening or morning or wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Enjoy yourselves. I mean, Thanksgiving shouldn't be only last Thursday. It should be every day of the year. I mean that. I mean, we have so much to be grateful for. Every time I send out a happy birthday wish, I always tell people, may this day be a day full of joy and love as well as every other day of your life. So that we're born every day. We're not just born once a year, we celebrate. So bless you all. Thank you. And hopefully I'll see everyone tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Stuart.
Good night. Thank you, Stuart.
Uh,
Thank you.